welcome back to another episode of the Underdog Anthem. If you hadn't noticed, I actually changed the title of the channel to reflect the book that I have coming out called The Underdog Anthem. And the whole point of the channel is that I hope that you know that wherever you're at, whatever you're going through, that your underdog moment doesn't have to be your life, that you can determine where you're going to end up. And so I want to encourage you guys to drop a comment below and let me know, what is your favorite underdog story? What's a story, whether in history or whether a movie or a book, but what's your favorite underdog story? I want to know. Maybe you know somebody in your life that has an underdog story. I'm actually interviewing a dear friend of mine this upcoming week on Thursday. His name is Tom, and he started his company with $63.58, and now he is a multi-millionaire, extremely successful in all areas of his life. And so we're going to interview him on this channel. We're going to release that later this month, so I want to encourage you guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss that. Make sure you click the bell so you get a notification when that comes out. But I love his underdog story. I love getting to know him, and I can't wait for that interview this upcoming Thursday. And so let's get to the point of today's video. I want to talk about setting goals and following through on goals. If you're anything like I used to be, you've set thousands and thousands and thousands of goals and you've had a hard time on following through with them. There's actually a statistic that says that 80% of New Year's resolutions, the biggest time of goal setting for the year, 80% of those New Year's resolutions are going to fail. People aren't going to follow through on them. And I started to ask myself this question a couple of years ago: how come all of the goals that I'm setting, all of the goals I'm trying toward are failing? And I found out that it was just that I had the wrong systems, I had the wrong ideas, I had the wrong processes, and we'll get to that at the end. And so if that's you, that this is something that you have done time and time again, that you've set a goal and set a goal and set a goal and had trouble following through, you are going to get a ton of value out of today's video. But I want to take you through how I set goals now. The things that I do that help me to achieve the goals in my life. And so the first thing I want to say is that setting goals is huge. Actually sitting down and writing out a goal is a big deal. And actually, statistically, 42% you're more likely to achieve your goal if you write it down. Get it in front of you and take it and place it somewhere that you're going to see it. That you're going to see it day in and day out, so it'll remind you of what you're pushing toward, of what you're trying to achieve. And even better is get really specific on that goal. Get really specific. When do you want to accomplish? How much extra money do you want to make? What is it going to look like when you have that? How are you going to use it? What are the impacts that you want to have? Why are you doing this? Start to get really, really specific on that goal, and then visualize it. There's a statistic that actually says that you're 1.5 times more likely to succeed on a goal that you set if you visualize it, if you take time to process and sit and say, man, what is this going to look like? What is this going to feel like? How am I going to enjoy achieving this goal? What am I going to feel when I get there? And so visualize it. Take the time to visualize it. And then, in my opinion, the most important step whenever I set a goal is I want to let somebody know about that goal so that I can have some accountability. I want to let somebody know that, hey, I've set a goal to buy a house, and hey, can you help me? Can you hold me accountable? Can you challenge me? And if you see me falling short, will you just call me out? If you see me spending money unnecessarily, will you just call me out? Because I have this goal and I would really appreciate if you would hold me accountable. And I found that when I have somebody to hold me accountable on a goal, both I don't want to let them down and I feel like I have to do it. Somebody is there waiting, cheering me on, letting me know that you can do it, okay? So whenever I'm setting a goal, those are kind of the 4 steps that I go through. First, I want to write it down. I want to find a place for it in my home, somewhere that I'm going to see it. I want to visualize it daily. What's it going to look like? What's it going to feel like? And I want to get accountability on those goals, right? And so those are the first few things that I do when I'm even looking at setting a goal, when I'm even looking at pushing forward to a goal. And then the question is, how do you stay on course for a goal after you've set it, right? Because getting the goal set is the easy part. If we're just honest here, it's easier to get it out there than it is to actually put in the work to get there. And so I want to take you through a quote that absolutely changed my life. It's in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and it says, winners and losers have the same goals, just drastically different systems. Winners and losers have the same goals, just drastically different systems. So what I want to do is I want to set a goal, but I want to craft a process. I want to set a goal, but I want to craft a process. And I actually went into detail on a video that I did. It says how to reach your goals. And it is a great video. It talks about minimizing distractions, maximizing reminders. And so it'd be a great resource to go a little bit deeper on that. But setting up a process for you to actually get from point A to point B is the most important part of following through on your goal. It's easy to say I want to go to the gym. It's easy to say I want to lose weight. It's even easy to get it written down and put somewhere. It's hard to say I'm going to go to the gym every day at 3 and I'm going to tie my shoes at this time. I'm going to be walking in the door at this time. I'm going to be walking out the door of the gym at this time. I'm going to work out for 30 minutes on these times. So I want to craft a process for me to get from point A to point B. And that may seem super simple, but I want you to write it down with your goal because it is a game changer when you actually write out the process. I want to encourage you, check out that other video because I talk about maximize your reminders and minimize your distractions, okay? So check out the other video. And then we want to course correct, right? Because the reality is that you're going to set this goal, you're going to get on par, you're going to start taking action, and you are going to fall short. But I love the quote, if you miss one day, don't miss two. If you miss one day, don't miss two. Put the goal back in front of you. If you've got a goal to lose weight and then you have a binge session on some food, just don't do it again tomorrow. Get back on track. Course correct, course correct. Don't beat yourself up because what happens, I've seen time and time again, people will set a goal and then they'll get themselves in a vicious cycle going downward where they lose traction because they miss one day and then they miss another day and then they feel really bad that they've missed 2 days. And so now they're watching Netflix to avoid the fact that they've missed out on their goals. And so, man, you have got to course correct. If you miss one day, just don't miss two, okay? And then the next one is fall in love with the journey. Man, there's a story I tell in my book that's coming out, and I had the opportunity with one of my mentors to run across the country. We did a relay from Jacksonville, Florida to San Diego, California, and along this journey there were so many times where I was more concerned with the destination, and I'm worried about, I just got to get to San Diego. I just got to get to San Diego. I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. My body is broken. I'm feeling worn out, sweat's dripping in my eyes, 100 degrees outside, and it just sucks. And then as I'm running, I miss out on the fact that a mountain range is coming into sight. And there's the sunset, the setting behind it. It is one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen. And I was so focused on the destination that I missed out on the beauty of the journey. And so when you're heading toward a goal, you have to fall in love with the journey. You've got to fall in love with the hard days, with the monotony, with the difficulty, with the extra steps. You've got to fall in love with the process or you'll never make it to those big, crazy dream out there goals. To be steadfast in these things, we have to be willing to fall in love with the journey, okay? So and then the next thing is celebrate your milestones. And this is huge. Take time to celebrate. So many people are so busy trying to get to the next goal, get to the next goal, get to the next milestone, get to the next milestone, that they forget to slow down and reward themselves for the good work that they've done and enjoy the fact that they've made progress, right? You don't have to make it to the goal to be able to celebrate the fact that you're on track or that you're making progress, right? Like, so if you've been wanting to lose weight and you've gone from 200 pounds to 180, but your goal is 160, man, you just lost 20 pounds. Go do something that's gonna bring you joy. Treat yourself with rock climbing. Treat yourself with a weekend trip. Go celebrate. It brings this enthusiasm to the goal that you're trying to put put out there, and it adds value. It literally creates value inside of the goal that you're trying to create. And so whenever I set a goal, I want to create a reward system along my milestones. If I hit this by this time, I get X reward. If I hit this by this time, I get another reward, all the way down the chain, so that I know that there's something I'm leveling up towards. There's something along the journey that's still going to bring me joy as I work to that ultimate goal, that ultimate achievement. And then stay in your lane. It is so easy as you start to get further along in your goal, you start to have more success, to start to branch out and get distracted from what got you there in the first place. And we start to be invited to go do different things, or we get different job offers, or we have, time out away from the gym because, we got the date that we were looking for, but now we're not focused on our goal anymore. So we just have to be willing to stay in our lane. We've got to be willing to put those distractions aside if we're actually gonna achieve the goal that we have in mind. And then the last point that I want to make for you guys is grind. There is no secret formula to achieving your goals other than hard work, dedication, and making sure that you stay on course. I hope this has brought you value. If it has, go ahead and smash that like button. It actually helps the YouTube algorithm for our video to reach more people so more people can achieve their goals as well. Again, I want to encourage you guys, check out the other video in the series that talks more in detail about setting up processes for us to achieve those goals, for us to find success. And so again, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Be looking for that interview that I'm putting out there. Remember to click subscribe, click that bell button for that interview that I'm going to be putting out. Have a great week. I'll see you later.